Our next guest is a real estate debate champion and one of San Diego's up-and-coming young stars in real estate. Please welcome to the show, Jason Cassity.
Mr. Cassity, how do you do?
I do well. I don't know. Do I clap during that part too?
You can. Okay. Yeah, everyone's clapping. Our audience is
Good.
clapping right now.
Thank you.
Social media and real estate today.
Yes.
Is the subject.
Yeah.
And I would actually, I know I wrote this, up and coming young stars, but you had you're here now officially as of last year. You proved yourself.
I'm always trying to go further.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good year.
Yeah, good year for you. Good for you, man. I remember the old days when you were showing us apartments in downtown years and years ago.
You know what?
It's like, this guy's got something.
I did. I showed you lease properties in downtown, like my first couple months in the business.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Started from the bottom.
That's right.
Yeah, now we're here.
Sorry we never leased anything from you, by the way.
It's okay. It's okay. I got to know
a gift card.
Yeah, started from the bottom. Now we're in the middle. Right?
Yeah.
I want to talk about your show because you do your own little show.
I do.
Ask a Realtor.
You don't have to call it little.
Well,
but yes, I do.
It's a show.
Yeah, it is.
It's your own show.
It's a show.
Ask a Realtor.
Uh-huh.
Hashtag Ask a Realtor.
Yeah.
Tell us about the show. What's it about?
Thanks. Yeah. Early on when I started, I wanted to get my face out there. That was kind of the big thing in real estate. You want to be seen. You don't want to be a secret agent.
Right.
So I was thinking, what can I do to get my face out there? And, I was running into a lot of questions out in the field. What is condo litigation? What is X, Y, Z? And I thought, what a better way to set up a show where someone can go on Twitter or whatnot and ask me anything. And I would just be there to answer it. And so, I think realtors get a rep sometimes for being the gatekeepers of this information and whatnot. And maybe it's my millennial self that just wanted to put it all out there, transparency, So we're at 11 episodes now. And my goal here in 2016 is to put out at least 25 more. And, it's 2 or 3 answers per show. And so we have a nice little collection of answers.
So is it just on Twitter? So if I'm listening to the show, watching this show right now, I want to ask you a question. Can I go on Twitter and just hashtag Ask a Realtor and then put my question?
Yeah.
That's how it works?
That's the best way to do it. You can also find me. If nobody asks me a question on Twitter for that whatever time frame, I'll go online and I'll see what people are talking about, or I'll use stories from my from my personal life of people asking me questions in the field. So I've pulled from everywhere. People have asked me on Facebook and whatnot, but Twitter is the kind of the key. Use that hashtag Ask a Realtor, and you can pretty much ask me anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you and I both kind of had the same social media inspiration, Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
Vaynerchuk. That's right.
Or Gary V.
Gary V.
Tell me about your inspiration from Gary V.
And I didn't know that you had this same kind of origin, but I read the book Crush It, and I read his book Crush It, and that's what really turned me on to using social media to spread the word, and at that point in my career, I kind of thought social media was just for talking to friends and whatnot, staying in touch with your parents. But I could use this for business and really, reach out to clients, whether it be past clients or prospective clients. And the book Crush It really changed my perspective on that. And then from there, I kind of researched him, and I found the Ask Gary V show, which was basically what I blatantly ripped off to start Ask a Realtor. And so, you know what I mean? If it's not broke, don't fix it. And it's worked. And so on the show, I'll actually do a lot of the same mannerisms, that he did to set up the show, but with my twist on it. And so, and then, now for the last 3 years, I've just kind of engulfed everything he spits out because he's really a kind of a dominant force in the marketing world.
He's a trailblazer for sure in social media, and he's one of those people who's like, hey, these are the things I'm doing that are working. He doesn't hide anything or try to keep any secrets inside.
Yeah.
His whole thing is basically, it's okay if everyone knows the same amount that I do, because I'll outwork everybody.
100%. And I feel like I'm trying to use that in real estate too. I've done a couple panels, I've done a couple, even in my videos where I'll spill all my secrets. I'll say, this is exactly what I did to get this 3-deal thing, whatever it may be. And I don't care if other real estate agents are listening. I like to help other real estate agents because I know at the end of the day, they're still not me. So if everybody's trying to copy you, they're always just going to be right behind you. And if you're the one trailblazing the thing, you've got the edge.
Yeah.
And Gary Vee, that guy's worth X amount of whatever, and he owns his mega corporation, and he still will talk to you on Twitter or talk to you on Snapchat and tell you exactly what he's doing because he's confident in himself that he's the man with the ideas.
Yeah.
And he'll transparency again goes back to that. Just share what you're doing.
Yeah. Personal replies too. It's really neat
to
kind of get his personal replies. He tries to get back to everybody. It's really interesting.
Absolutely.
I did the same thing. Read Crush It, which is about 100 pages.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a simple book.
Yeah.
I think it was he wrote it in like 06, 07,
Yeah.
08, somewhere in there. And it was at the very early stages of social media. And what he was basically telling you to do is like get out there and do it now and do it every day and do it for as long as it takes.
Absolutely.
Because he did how many episodes of Wine Library TV before?
1,000.
It was 1,000.
1,000. And this was back when YouTube first started, like in 04, 05. I mean, he had, I don't think it was a cell phone camera. It was probably just a normal little video recorder and bad lighting and a bad mic, but he did it. And he did it over and over and over again when he was getting 1 view and 10 views and 20 views because he was building up his audience at that point. And that's really, he has a couple other videos called 1 is Greater Than 0. And that's been a huge inspiration to me because I'm like, no matter what I'm doing, you know, I'm getting 10 views on these videos, that 10 is better than 0.
Yeah.
And no matter what is going on, I need to be building up that view count and whatnot and just getting my name out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
1,000
question.
episodes of Wine Library TV he did.
Yeah, and that was really before anyone knew who he was. You know, he
Yeah.
was just a guy who knew he owned a wine store and knew everything about wine. Everything
Yeah.
about wine. It was really impressive.
Exactly.
To watch that show. If you like wine, it's kind of a crazy show to go back and watch
Yeah.
some of the Wine Library TV episodes. Really, really neat.
Yeah.
So here's the big question with social media and real estate. Is it worth it? And this is the question that people ask me all the time. Like, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Do I need to open an Instagram, a Snapchat, a Twitter, and also do Facebook? And when am I going to find time to do all this? So, I mean, I'm just curious from your perspective, do you think that all this effort in the social media, do you think it has worked, or are you just expecting that it will work one day?
100% has worked.
Has worked.
Yeah, so it's 100% worth it, and it has worked. Last year alone, and I mean, I don't want to get too into it, but yeah, we did, I closed 2 deals from Twitter. These are clients that I picked up that were not clients. And it was just by listening in the ecosystem of Twitter, using it correctly. I think a lot of realtors especially, they've, you know, to go borrow a Gary Vee, they throw a lot of right hooks. You know what I mean? They use Twitter and they promote their new listing and they promote their new blog, but they never are listening to what people are saying or watching it. And then they blame Twitter for not working. Well, you know, don't blame the arrow, blame the archer, you know, or whatever. Yeah. So I think, you know, what I did with that is I sat and I used Twitter search and I said San Diego condo, you know, just typical. What would people say? San Diego, buy a condo in San Diego. And I start reading through what people are saying. I want to buy a condo in San Diego, thinking about buying a condo in San Diego, and then you're just there to reply. Just have a conversation, right? And stuff like that is really what connects with people, I think. And just using social media the right way. Stop just getting out there and just spewing all your stuff and get in and interact with people.
Yeah.
Just like you would in the real world.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I don't walk up to groups of people and just say, I'm Jason Cassidy, here's me, and just throw it all out there. You know, I walk up
You
and
don't
I start a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, I start a conversation and then I get to know them, and then from there we develop a relationship.
Connect with them.
Absolutely.
So you don't just walk up to them and flick your business card off their forehead? That's not how you handle it?
I've done it a couple times, but no, usually I don't. I have thick business cards. That would hurt. I try to be nice about it.
So what you're talking about there is a really important point, not just in business but in life, which is listening. And I think that there's no question the homeowners, home buyers, or anyone out there, people,
Right.
want to be heard.
Yep.
They want to know that someone is actually listening to what they're saying. So if that's the first experience someone has with you, I could see totally, you know, tweeting something, expecting to get answers from some friends and things like that. And if a professional was there listening and coming in, I could see immediately trusting that person and
Absolutely.
going, wow, they're listening
Yeah.
to what I'm saying here. So that makes sense. So it has worked. You expect that it will work, and it's worth it. Do you do all social medias?
Yeah, you have your bigs, you know, your Facebook, your Instagram, and in my opinion, your Twitter and LinkedIn. And those are kind of my 4 bigs that I really focus on. And then you have some fringe stuff that I try and I see if it works for me, and if it doesn't, I can leave it, you know, but at least I've tried it and I've tried the ecosystem. So I do, you know, I have a Pinterest account and a Snapchat account, but I don't know yet how that's going to work for my business. I do try to become part of the ecosystem and learn about it, but I am very visible on kind of your big. I believe it's important to have a big social media strategy, and it's not your end all be all, by the way, and especially as a realtor. It's like, you know, working out and dieting, you know, 70% of it is your diet. You know, that's still going out and meeting people and networking and working. You know, 30% is your working out. That's your online strategy, whether it be Zillow or email marketing. And then you've got your supplements, right? It's just a small little portion that's going to put you over the edge. That's your social media right now. But you can't ignore it. That you need that little bit. I mean, you're talking about Facebook. You have the opportunity to kind of stalk and be in on 500 or 10,000, you know, however big your sphere is, past clients, future clients, and just be learning and watching and interacting. I mean, it's crazy. You can't call that many people, and be productive. You have an opportunity to do it. I think social media has to be part of your marketing strategy.
Research is huge, especially on Facebook. No question about it. Jason Cassidy, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Don't forget the hashtags, man. Ask a Realtor. This is the guy. He will answer your questions, and you might make his really kick butt videos. Stick around for more. Smarter San Diego TV, where we guarantee to make you smarter than everyone else. Commercial free.